Hello my quilting friends! Leah Day here with a new video for the Machine Quilting Party. One of the questions I'm getting a lot lately is about the batting to use in the middle of your Rainbow Log Cabin quilt. So this is something that's really important, and it's one of those things that you feel in a finished quilt, but you don't actually see it. It's that hidden middle layer that really has a lot to do with how the finished quilt's going to feel, how it's going to drape, how you're going to be able to see those beautiful quilting stitches. So in this video, I just want to share my thoughts on this, and really I've kind of come full circle because I've already finished my quilt, so I can tell you how I feel now here at the end and what I might have done differently. So first off, the original version of the quilt, the Rainbow Log Cabin Quilt that I put in the book, had a cotton batting, and it had been washed dozens of times. So it has a really nice crinkly effect on the surface, and it's very soft and cuddly. It has a really nice drape to it. So cotton batting would be a really good choice, especially if you like that crinkly effect and you want your quilting design to maybe become more recessive to kind of hide in those layers of fabric. That's definitely a good choice for batting for you. Now for this version of the quilt, I decided to use a wool batting, and I really like it. It's soft and squishy, very lofty. But the one thing is, it's so squishy that I ended up still having some issues with puckers and pleats on the back of the quilt, even after basting literally the heck out of this quilt, really. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the super squishy wool batting and how much movement it adds to the quilt. Another thing that the wool batting had is it had a very low rating. So on the batting package, you'll see somewhere it'll say quilting up to so many inches. So this particular batting was Hobbs heirloom wool, and it said quilting up to 3 inches. Well, that means that I really shouldn't leave any space on the quilt bigger than 2.5 inches or so open without any quilting in it. Because if I did leave more than that space open, the batting could shift in the middle of the layer of the quilt as I go to wash it and use it and enjoy it in my home. So because I used that batting, I did extra stitching in the ditch so that way the quilt would be more secure. It kind of added a few extra steps and a few more lines of quilting that I wouldn't have done otherwise if my batting had a higher rating. So some other things to think about. Please understand that every type of batting is going to have a different personality. Every different batting manufacturer is going to be a little bit different too. I also love polyester batting. Quilter's Dream polyester batting is a wonderful batting that has a really high rating. Like some of their poly batting is quilting up to 10 inches, which means you could leave like 9 inches of space open on your quilt and not worry about the batting shifting at all. So if you're wanting to avoid stitching in the ditch, you could probably look at a batting like that, and that would allow you to skip that step completely, because the quilting designs that we're using, the bright star and concentric squares and more bright stars in the corner, it would probably be enough to secure the quilt without having to do that extra step of stitching in the ditch. So I hope that that makes sense, and I want you to look around at different battings that are available in your area. Please understand that cotton is not the only choice. There's a lot of different things available to you, and definitely pay attention to that and maybe try something new that you've never tried before. The worst that will happen is you will have learned something, you will have developed an opinion whether you like that new batting or not, so that's not a bad thing. Now, as for the basting process, I'm going to leave that up to you guys, because basting is definitely something that everybody has a different technique for. I'm going to describe what we decided to do. We pen basted the Rainbow Log Cabin Quilt, and Dad took care of this one day several months ago. I stretched out the quilt on the tables, secured it down with tape, and I've shared a tutorial on how to do this method of basting in a quilting workshop called Quilting a King on your home machine. So if you'd like to learn more about that basting method on a table with elastic straps, definitely go and check that out. Now, if you don't have tables big enough to hold the Rainbow Log Cabin Quilt, look around in your area, see where the local quilt guild meets or a local church A lot of places will allow you to come in and use their big folding tables, and it won't be a problem at all. So check into things, enjoy basting your quilt and picking out your batting, and I'll see you here for the next video as we start stitching in the ditch and securing the layers together. Now, if you'd like to join in the fun and make the Rainbow Log Cabin Quilt, you can find the pattern in the book, Explore Walking Foot Quilting with Leah Day. This book was really a labor of love, and I had so much fun coming up with 30 walking foot designs and 7 beautiful quilt projects for you to experiment with and learn a lot about walking foot style quilting. And we're going to be quilting along 3 of the quilts from this book together in 2018. So come and check it out at leahday.com/walkingfoot. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you don't miss the next video coming out soon. Until next time, let's go quilt!